What's good, folks? It's RFG back at it today. And man, I've been hearing a lot of bullshit, a lot of nonsense, a lot of people asking me questions about information that simply doesn't matter. That simply does not matter at this point in time on this earth. Okay? This situation right here is complete bullshit. I've already done multiple videos on the whole Kaepernick situation. This is a complete distraction and a psyop from doing what we need to do as humans on this earth, and that is detaching, detoxing, and deprogramming, and connecting back to the cosmos, connecting back to nature, and getting our light codes from the sun. Period. So I'm not even going to touch on this bullshit. All right. All I'm going to say is what person who sues their employer for millions of dollars goes back to that employer and seeks employment. Ladies and gentlemen, that shit don't even happen at fucking Burger King and McDonald's. If you sue your employer and your employer gives you millions of dollars as a settlement, okay, no fucking former employee is going to come back to that employer seeking employment. Wake the fuck up. This is a really, really deep psyop, and I won't be able, it's so deep, I won't even be able to break that down until 2021. All right? That's all I'm going to say on that topic. So this is a distraction from what we really need to be doing at this time, okay? I have said in the past that we humans were created to be walking, talking plants. The original humans on the earth were plant-like humanoids, and that is why they were depicted with green skin, different shades of green and blue skin, all right? Because we were able to practice an idia, a practice called an idia, where our DNA, you see, the carbon in our body was able to convert the sun's light into fuel and into nutrition for our body, okay? The energy from the sun's light activated the carbon in our body, and I believe photosynthesis actually took place in the human body, and it activated our solar plexus. This is why the chakra in our stomach is called the solar plexus, because the original form of our food was the solar, the sun, the solar, you see? So what we did was we consumed the highest quality water on the earth, and we got our sunlight, and that activated the carbon within our bodies. We were able to, live and thrive off of that and tap into that, and that process was called an idia. And this process allowed us to communicate with the ancestors that are dwelling in the higher realms of the cosmos. Okay, we were able to tap into that vibration by getting the light codes from the sun. The sun's energy was able to open up our pineal glands, okay, and activate our solar plexus right here in our stomach, because you see, our brain and our brain is connected to our lower brain, you see, and the sun's light is able to activate both of that for carbonated beings. All right. Okay, the original beings on the earth were plant-like humanoids. This is where you get depictions of characters like Piccolo, Yoda, the Hulk. These are ancient melanated gods that were plant-like humanoids, and their bodies were loaded with carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, magnesium, and selenium. All right? So this is what we're supposed to be doing right now. We're not supposed to be paying attention to stupid media bullshit from goddamn agent provocateurs. We're supposed to be getting our light codes from the sun, getting that sunlight, okay, day in and day out, and getting, are light codes, plain and simple. Now, we humans are connected to this earth. We are microcosms of the macrocosm. So therefore, us being cells of this earth, when we have a good portion of the Amazon that was burnt down, and a good portion of the Congo in Africa that was burnt down, and a good portion of the jungle in Indonesia that was burnt down, that is, the Amazon and the tropics are the lungs of the earth. So therefore, if the lungs of the earth are under attack, guess what? The lungs of the carbonated beings on the earth are going to be under attack. So a lot of people listening, if you've been tapping into veganism, raw alkaline veganism, and you've been getting your sunlight and you've been detaching from the bullshit, you should be feeling a weakness of breath when you are going to sleep and when you are waking up from your sleep. And when you are doing certain things during the day, you will notice that your brain is actually causing you to think about breathing. Breathing is supposed to be natural instinct for us. Okay? It's not supposed to be something that we have to think about to breathe in and out on a consistent basis and to be able to control our breathing. Okay? And you'll notice that you'll be getting a lot of shortness of breath during the day for some reason. That is because whatever happens to the earth happens to the carbonated beings on the earth. We are the cells of the earth. Whatever happens to the earth happens to us. The lungs of the earth are under attack, so our ability to breathe is going to be affected. We are microcosms of the macrocosm. Okay? Whatever happens to the earth happens to us. Okay? The earth, the whole entire ecosystem on the earth is goddamn out of balance. It's all out of balance. So what's going to be happening to the humans on the earth? Well, that means most of the things in our personal lives are going to be out of balance. Some people are going to have, out of balance emotions that just pop up out of the blue, but most of the time it's going to affect our relationships with our family and our loved ones and our spouses. All right, those relationships are all of a sudden going to be taking wrong turns and unexpected turns. Okay, that is because the entire ecosystem, the entire order of nature on the earth is out of balance. And we are going to be feeling that in our bodies. This is why it is so important for us to be eating the raw vegetation and to be getting the light codes from the sun. So if that means you have to spend 2 to 3 hours in the sunlight, so be it. Okay? All right? The Earth's magnetic resonance vibrates at the same frequency as our heart rhythms and brain waves. Okay? We are the Earth. We are the earth. Plain and simple. We are the cells of the earth. Another thing that we should be feeling during this time is electric force, electromagnetic force, and orgone energy being pumped into our bodies. And we're definitely supposed to be feeling this from the sun and the inner sun. All right? We're supposed to be feeling this from the sun and the inner sun, especially when we're able to get good sleep, and when we wake up, we're supposed to feel that rush of orgone energy and electromagnetic energy literally flow through our bodies. Okay? That is us being charged up. Okay, that process is called inedia. All right? The number one form of fasting on the earth, this chakra right here, is called the solar plexus, because the original form of food for humans on this earth was the sun. That's why they call this chakra right here in the stomach, that's why they call it the solar plexus. Our original form of food is the sun. Okay? And it expands our pineal gland because the sun is giving our subconscious light codes. And you know what's crazy? I was sun gazing today for the first time in a long time, and I'm so glad because today I'm gonna give you guys some wisdom from the cosmos that the cosmos gave me while I was sun gazing, and the information is absolutely amazing and mind blowing. All right. The best water to drink is eternal alkaline water, natural artesian water that comes from underground. This eternal water right here, it is very thick natural water, which means that it holds a lot of hydrogen. The more hydrogen in the water, the thicker it is, and the more it hydrates your cells and your DNA strands. Okay? You want hydrogen rich, negatively charged ions in your water. You want hydrogen rich, negatively charged ion water. Okay? Comes from underground, that is artesian. That's the kind of water you want. Naturally alkaline from a natural underground artesian spring. Okay? Don't fall for those other scams of alkaline water with all those chemicals, artificial chemicals in them. Okay, so this natural underground artesian water that is hydrogen rich, the hydrogen rich water and negatively charged water is going to it is going to fix the hydrogen bonds in our DNA. It's going to fix and mend the hydrogen bonds in our DNA. Our DNA is nothing but hydrogen bonds. So the more alkaline water we consume and the more sunlight we get with that kind of water, you see, this is going to mend our DNA strands, and this is going to help the inedia process, and this is actually going to help us interpret the messages we get in our dreams and the messages we get when we get light codes from the sun. We're going to be able to actually interpret those messages. The more our DNA gets repaired by taking in, hydrogen rich water. Okay, so we're going to hear what Credo Mutwa, master teacher, master spiritual teacher from the Zulu tribe, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's from a particular tribe that is in southern Africa. I believe it's the Zulu. He's going to touch on the real history of the moon and human history on the earth.
As it is now, you only saw it as a splash of white light moving slowly across the sky. At that time, there was an eternal drizzle every day of the year. At that time, people could not see the stars. People only saw the trees growing, trees which were very, very big. There was no desert at that time, only jungle.
Okay, bingo. He just said that there was a time where you could not physically see the stars. And he said there was a time when there was no desert, when the earth was completely rainforest and jungle. Because God damn it, this earth used to be a jungle tropical planet. It used to be a jungle tropical world. Okay, just like me and other teachers have been saying for the longest.
Everywhere where you went. At that time, sir, people were what we call in Zulu, ngubili. A human being was both male and female in one body.
Bingo. He just said there was a time on the earth when all beings were male and female in one body. And guess what I've been presenting for the past 6 months to a year now. The original beings on this earth were females that produced asexually. The original beings on this earth were plant-like female humanoids, and they reproduced asexually. That's where you get the idea for a poison ivy-like character. A being who is a female plant humanoid, okay, that produces asexually. Poison ivy is nothing but a depiction of the Amazonian goddesses. And the original Amazonian goddesses originated on the planet Venus, okay? They were the original beings that came to the earth. They were plant-like humanoid females that produced asexually. And when their powers were taken away from them by higher gods, okay, from the macroverse, that is when the male sex was engineered. Let Credo Mutwa explain.
And out of the sky, one day came terrible objects. They were like gigantic bows made of huge gleaming gold. They were shaped like bows without strings, and they were bigger than the biggest mountains. They came out of the sky bringing great noise, black smoke, and fire with them. And out of those huge objects came them. At that time, sir, human beings could not speak. We had no gift of language at that time.
Okay, he just said there was a time on the earth when humans did not speak. He said we had no gift of language, but, you know, I don't think that language is necessarily a gift, because we used to communicate telepathically when we were all gods. We used to communicate telepathically. We didn't need any fucking language.
And people had, however, great mental power. A man
we had great mental power.
Go into the bush and, using the power of his mind, actually call out an animal which he wanted to hunt and kill for his children. And the animal would appear and kneel down before the man, and the man would kill the animal and take it home. But when the Chitawuli arrived in Africa,
he said the Chitahuri, I think he's referring to the Anunnaki and the Nagas. He's referring to the Anunnaki and the Nagas.
Told our people that they were gods and that they were going to give us human beings.
Now, let me make this clear. Not all Anunnaki and not all of the Nagas had genuine intentions and good intentions for humans on the earth. There was a great war that broke out between the Anunnaki and the Nagas over, you know, how much power they wanted to give to humans. Okay? There were some of the Nagas and Anunnaki that sided with the insectoids. There were certain Nagas and Anunnaki that sided with humanity.
Great gifts on one condition: we had to worship them and accept them as our creators. Some told our people that they were our elder brothers and that this earth had produced them generations ago. And they said they had come back to the green womb of their mother and that they were going to make us into gods. What they did...
Now, when he said that, you know, when he mentions the particular Anunnaki that said, you know, they wanted to make humans gods, he's referring to what the Bible calls Lucifer. the masculine aspect of Lucifer. That's what he's referring to.
They created a very strange pair of caves in the land.
And he, by him saying that, he's saying that, the masculine aspect of Lucifer, that is not a so-called bad deity, folks. Okay? The God of your Bible is Saturn, Kronos, El, Yaldabaoth, Father Time, okay? AKA Set. And he had a son named Amun, aka Zeus, aka Jesus, okay? And those are your parasitic deities that didn't want the humans to become gods.
They dug 2 caves. In one cave was a green light, in another cave was a red light. And they drove human beings into these caves. And each human being had to choose which cave the human being wanted to go into. And those who went into the green cave came out as women. And those who went into the red cave came out as men. And then the talkers, the Chitauri, told our people that now they were perfect.
Now, you see what he said? He said that they had the humans choose whether they wanted to remain a woman, whether they wanted to be a woman or a man. Okay? So basically, these higher gods, they engineered the male sex in the human population.
But the moment the first men saw the first women, a terrible row erupted. The women hated the men because they looked between their legs and they saw what they thought were snakes dangling between the legs of the men. And the men hated the women because they looked on their chests and they saw these big things. What they were, they did not know. And then the Chitauri laughed. It was to them a very, very big joke. And then the Chitauri said, if you serve us, you wretched little human beings, we are going to make you into gods. And the human beings agreed to serve the Chitauri. And the Chitauri gave human beings a second gift, the gift of language. People started talking with their tongues where they had talked with their...
Now, that's the only point in this video where I have to respectfully disagree with Credo Mutua. I don't think, physical language is necessarily a gift. Like he said before, we communicated telepathically. So if we're communicating telepathically, what do we need a language? What do we need the language of the tongue for? You see, when the demiurge, aka the God of the Bible, Set, El, Yaldabaoth, Saturn, Kronos, he did a series of things that lowered the vibratory rate of the energy on the earth, okay? And he knocked down our tower, which was the motor cortex. He did something to disable the motor cortex in humans' brains. And that caused us to start speaking out of our tongue, to start speaking language. Okay, the motor cortex in the brain, our tower. Okay, if you look at that gland in the brain from the side, it looks like a tower. And when he destroyed that tower, you see, we started communicating through tongue. That was not a gift. Okay, that particular deity was controlling the particular Anunnaki that served the insectoids, okay, the parasites that invaded the earth.
minds before. And there was a big rubbish starting again, because this man did not know the language of that man. And when this man greeted that man, this man thought that he was being insulted, and so a lot of murder and culpable homicide started taking place all over the world. When
You see, you see the God of the Bible that separated humans from languages. What happened after that? Humans were separated. You see what I'm saying? Humans were split apart and separated. Everybody wants to talk about racial division and and all that shit. And you know what I'm saying? That's cool and all, but why not go after the motherfucker who divided us in the first place? Do you understand what I'm saying? Are you gonna go after the virus, or are you gonna go after the motherfuckers who created the virus? Come on. It's chess. It's not checkers. Come on, people. We gotta do better. We gotta wake up. Okay? Yes, there are major racial differences and different so-called racial issues going on right now. But why not get to the root of the motherfucking problem? Who in the fuck separated the goddamn races and started splicing humans all over the earth? The fucking piece of shit demiurge God of the Bible, who separated humans by language and created different races to serve him and only him, because he was a jealous God.
people were given language, they found to their horror that they had lost much of their mental powers. They had paid a terrible price. But the Chitauri were now the masters of human beings. They made them, the human beings, to go into holes in the ground and to mine metal, gold, copper, tin, all kinds of metal. The Chitauri forced our people to mine.
See, that happened when those particular Anunnaki and Nagas forced humans to mine gold for them. Those were the Anunnaki that served Enlil, aka Set, aka Ogo, aka Yaldabaoth, the demiurge. That was the deity that forced humans to mine gold for him. You see, that happened after Saturn, so-called Saturn, casted Lucifer into the underworld. When Saturn, the god of the Bible, casted Lucifer, aka Enki, aka Prometheus, when he casted him into the underworld, that's when he had his way with humans, okay, and turned humanity into a complete slave race to do his bidding. And he set a whole bunch of things up on this earth to basically create a society where humans were giving up their energy, where humans were literally sacrificing their powers and sacrificing their energy to him and only him. And see, he created the fucking moon, okay, as part of this ritual. I'm gonna break that down in a few, so just pay attention and listen carefully.
And the people were very unhappy because they couldn't cope with the new sexual differences which were there now between men and women. And then from amongst the Chitauri came a very good female Chitauri.
Now I'm gonna stop it right there. You guys can watch this video yourself if you want. Okay, it's 13 minutes and 30 seconds long, but Credo's breaking it down like no other. Okay, so I just showed you guys this because you cannot call this information pseudo. If you call it pseudo, you calling your ancestors pseudo. Flat out. Okay? Now, I said in a lot of my videos that the original beings on the earth were plant-like female humanoids that reproduce asexually. These females did something really unrighteous against these particular gods of the macroverse, and their punishment was to have the male sex engineered. Okay, and they can no longer have the power of reproduction without male intervention. And these gods of the macroverse introduced the first age of patriarchy over the earth after the male sex was engineered. Okay, and during that time, all humanoid beings were plant-like. They were plant-like humanoids. We humans were created literally from the earth. Think about it. We're created of the same elements of the damn earth. So it's not too far-fetched to actually conceive the idea that there was once a time where plant-like humanoids walked the earth. Now, I showed you this guy in Indonesia who has this so-called condition, okay? But that's bullshit. It's not a condition. He just picked up a genetic trait of one of the, original beings that walked the earth. All right? And mainstream science calls it a condition. That's bullshit. This man has tree bark growing out of his goddamn limbs. This is where they get the idea for this character in Guardian of the Galaxy, the tree-like humanoid. All right? The green Martian, the Mortian, the plant-like humanoid, poison ivy. You see? You see, our Earth, our planet, used to have two suns. We had two suns, and most of the animals or the life on Earth was plant-like. And we all got our energy not from eating, but from practicing an idia, because we were all plant-like. So we didn't really have to physically consume other life forms. We just got our energy directly from our two suns. Okay? Now listen very carefully, because this is where shit gets deep. There was a time when the insectoids invaded the earth, okay? When the earth had two suns. So what did they do? They traveled to inner earth and they weakened one of the inner suns. For the earth to have two suns, the earth has to have two inner suns. The earth has two inner suns and a black hole. In our brains, we have the hypothalamus gland, pituitary gland, and a pineal gland. So that's two suns and a black hole in our brain. The black hole is the pineal gland. The two suns are the hypothalamus gland and the pituitary gland. As above, so below. So the insectoids went into inner earth and they somehow disabled one of the earth's inner suns. And when they disabled one of the earth's inner suns, that's what knocked out the second sun, our second sun, from Earth's orbit. All right? This is what happened. This is the light codes that I picked up, okay, from the messages that I've been getting from the cosmos for the past week. All right? So when the second sun was knocked out of Earth's orbit by the insectoids, that's when, okay, the so-called God of the Bible, the master insectoid, that's when he had this moon constructed. That's when he had this fucking moon constructed. All right? So he basically knocked out our second sun, and then he introduced the moon, created the moon. All right? Now I'm going to get back to that. Now, one thing we have to understand is our original creators, you see, because the God of the Bible didn't create us. Nature, the cosmos itself, created us. You see what I'm saying? We live in unison and symbiotically with the cosmos. All right? So therefore, if you want to get technical, we created ourselves because our subconscious always existed. Our subconscious was nothing but neuromelanin in the cosmos before this earth was even created. Okay, so therefore, we are forever. We are, we are the past, present, and the future. We are forever. All right? So when you think about it, we were created to live forever. Our bodies are organic machines. Okay? Our bodies are organic machines, which means that we have to put the proper fuel in our bodies. Okay? So when you look at these artificial machines can be built to last forever. What goes in these artificial machines? The best fuel of all, which is electric. Okay? Electricity. The electric cars that are built with the proper elements are able to sustain themselves forever. Okay? And this is artificial technology. So if mankind can do this, what the hell do you think that we were created to be? We are the organic machines. Okay? We are the organic machines that were created to live forever. Not only were we created to live forever, we were created we were put in this material realm to live however long we wanted to live, and to choose how we wanted to leave this physical realm. That's where mummification comes into play. Our ancestors literally lived for thousands of years and chose when they wanted to leave this material realm. Straight godhood. Okay? So like I said, we are the organic machines, which means that as long as we are putting electric foods in our body, like alkaline vegetation, alkaline fruits, okay, natural grains that come from the earth, as long as we put electric magnetic foods in our body is going to be flowing with electromagnetic orgone energy, okay, especially if we're getting that sunlight and drinking that artesian water. Okay, we're going to be on a whole nother level of vibration. Our body eventually, if we do that long enough, we will lose our craving, and we will only crave the water and the sunlight. But that can only be done if we are off the grid, if we are off the government's electric grid. All right, so you saw the electric car that was built to last forever. These trees right here are able to live for thousands and thousands of years, maybe even millions of years. So you're telling me these trees were created to live for thousands and millions of years, but you're telling me that we humans were created to live from 70 to 100 years? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. And I'm going to tell you what took us out of the godhood, okay? What stopped us from living for hundreds of thousands of years, okay? The goddamn demiurge, just like Credo Mutwa said, there were beings above us that basically altered our genetics. Okay, the God of the Bible, Satan, Saturn, Father Time, Cronus, Yaldabaoth, the demiurge, Ogo. What did he do? He split the waters above from the waters below, which means he separated the earth from the cosmic current. You see, that's probably why Credo Mutwa said that there was a time when humans couldn't really see the stars, because the stars were probably one with the goddamn earth. The stars and the earth realm were probably one. You see what I'm saying? So the God of the Bible separated the waters below from the waters above, and created the earth's atmosphere, created the realm of air. The God of the Bible, all right, the great parasite, created the realm of air. This is his steps on knocking us off from our godhood. That's why they call Satan the prince of air, because he fucking created the realm of air. You see? So after he created the realm of air, he went into the cells in our body, and he gave us an iron-based hemoglobin. He gave us the iron-based hemoglobin to go with the realm of air. So every time we took a breath of air, the iron in our hemoglobin would give up an electron to the oxygen molecules that we breathed in. So after every breath, the iron in our blood cells would be losing electrons, which would cause us to age. And the only way we could replace those electrons in our cells is if we took in antioxidants. But still, we have to breathe every second. You see what I'm saying? So that's more electrons we're losing as opposed to taking in antioxidants. So that caused us to age and die. You see what I'm saying? So he created the realm of air. He gave us iron-based hemoglobin. He put the moon into orbit. You see, he's disabled one of the Earth's inner suns, and then that caused the second sun to move out of Earth's orbit, and that's when he placed in the moon. All right, now the moon was put here to keep us in an animalistic mindset and to keep us on a vibration where we would tap into our lower chakras as opposed to our higher chakras. All right, now why is this? According to alchemy, the moon rules the chest, breast, and the stomach. Now this is what the moon really rules. Okay, the stomach. That is what the moon rules. Cancers rule, and the moon rule over the chest, breast, and stomach. They are the nurturing sign, nestled with the fourth house of the zodiac, which rules over home and family. Okay, they suffer from a lot of indigestion, okay, which is associated with the stomach, not the intestines, but the stomach. See, the moon is associated with the stomach. All right, and now this is some real deep shit now. Okay, so when you talk about the stomach, you're talking about the first chakra of your lower self, the first chakra below the heart chakra. So the stomach chakra is the first chakra of your lower self, of your lower chakras. Okay, that's what the moon rules, your stomach chakra. Right here, the Babylonians called the moon what? Sin. What is sin? Anything on a low vibration. Any emotion. Oh, the word emotion, emo, the moon, the moon. Sin, the Babylonians called the moon sin because a sinful act is a low vibrational act. When you are tapping into your lower self, the chakra that begins, that starts, your lower chakras, that starts with the stomach chakra, and that's ruled by the moon. Okay, sin. That's what the Babylonians called the moon because they knew the moon was responsible for causing humans to be prone to being controlled by their lower self. And this is actually biochemically true because the moon, what it does is it sends ions into the atmosphere, and our brain picks up those ions that are emitted by the moon, and those ions hit the portion of our moon. Those ions hit the portion of our brain that controls our stomach. Our brain, our stomach, and intestines are linked. All right? So the ions from the moon are geared to activate the portion of our brain that is associated with our stomach, and it causes us to experience great hunger and great lust. Okay? It causes us to experience great hunger, great fear, great anger, and great lust. All right? This is why most of the murders that take place, okay, and the homicides and the domestic violence and the rapes, they take place during the full moon. All right? The moon was called Luna. The ions from the moon hit certain people's brains, and it activates the part of the brain that's linked to the stomach, okay? And it causes us to be controlled by that urge, okay? That urge of hunger, that urge of craving, that urge of lust, okay? Now, look at that word lust, L-U, okay? The lust that comes from Luna. Lust is one of the 7 deadly sins. Sin was the original name of the moon, according to the Babylonians. You see how this is all linked together? You see? So the so-called, that God of your Bible, separated the waters below from the waters above, took away the second sun and replaced it with a moon, okay? And the moon was put here to keep all humanity in a parasitic, animalistic state, a cannibalistic, parasitic, animalistic state, low vibrational state. That is why the moon was put into the atmosphere, to send those ions through the air, to manipulate the water molecules in our body, and to manipulate the portion of our brain that's linked to the stomach chakra and the rest of our lower chakras. All right? The moon controls our lower self, our sinful self. Okay? And Zeus, you see, Zeus is really Amun Ra. Zeus is really Amun Ra. Okay? This is the son of Father Time, Set, Ogo. All right? So when you talk about the Father and the Son in the Bible, that's really Set and Amun Ra. Look at his name, Amun. Amun, the moon. Amun, deity of the moon. Amun. You see, he was the jealous God that wanted to be worshipped as a self-created deity. So his name went from Amun to Amun Ra. You see, because he wanted to be Ra. Amun Ra. Okay, how can you call yourself self-created if you didn't even come into existence until the 11th dynasty in the Kemet? All right, okay, really deep. Kansu is also one of the deities associated with the moon. And what is Kansu? Consume. Okay, we are in the realm of consumers, cannibals, carnivores, predators. Okay, people who are mostly controlled by their petty emotions, their lower self, their animalistic instincts, their hunger, their cravings, their lunacy. The lunatics controlled by Luna, the monetary system of money, imitating the energy of the moon. The moon harvests, okay, the life force of most humans on the earth. Just like the monetary system on the earth harnesses the energy of humans on the earth. Okay? This is very, very, very deep information here. And this right here, folks, is the nail in the coffin. According to this biblical story of Noah's Ark, they said that these animals were given the urge to eat only plants and the vegetation and plants. So all of the predator animals, all of the carnivorous predator animals, all of the meat-eating animals, they were given the urge by the God of the Bible to eat vegetation. This is what it says in the so-called good book. But guess what? RFG is here to tell you that this is in reverse. This is actually in reverse. After the flood, you see, the God of the Bible brought about the flood to wipe out the gods on the earth, the plant-like humanoid gods on the earth that were one with the sun, were one with nature. You see, when he created the moon, you see, the moon controls the ocean tides. So the God of the Bible used the moon to create the goddamn flood in the first place. The God of the Bible used the moon to control the flood in the first place because the moon controls the ocean tides. You see how this works? So he used that moon to activate a portion of the brains of the animals on the earth to become carnivores, predators, and cannibals. This is why the zodiac sign associated with the moon is called Cancer. Cancer, cannibal, Cain, the sons of Cain. Cannibals. The tooth, the sharp tooth in the mouth is called the canine. The Cain, sons of Cain, had the first form of cancer. The carnivores. You see, the cannibals. When you say cannibals, you're really saying cannibals. All right, dealing with the sons of Cain, all associated with the moon and the so-called God of the Bible. Okay, so the God of the Bible did not turn these animals into plant eaters. What the God of the Bible did was use the moon's energy to bring about carnivores, predators, and meat eaters on the earth. So I'm going to make this very clear. Before the moon came into Earth's orbit, all life forms on the earth got their energy from the sun and the second sun. And basically got their energy from fasting and inertia, getting their energy from water and sunlight. Before the moon was put into Earth's orbit by the God of the Bible, all life forms on the earth got their energy, got their food through the practice of inertia, which means the sun was our original form of food. After the God of the Bible presented this moon, that is when this earth became the realm of the parasites. That's when the predators came about. Now, that's funny. The predators. The predators. The predators. The predators. The predators. Etymology 101. The predators. The predators. Which means that the predators did not predate the goddamn moon. The predators did not predate the goddamn moon. They didn't exist before the goddamn moon was put into orbit. Okay? 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 So the key to achieving godhood, all right? The key to achieving godhood is putting all the bullshit in the media aside. Okay? And God damn it, we got to get our light codes. We got to get our light codes from the sun. If motherfuckers in your family and in your personal life are draining your energy, drop them. Drop them. People speak through their actions. Okay? Not their words. If their actions don't meet their words, drop them. Don't give a damn what they think about you. When you don't care what they think about you, that's when you're tapping into your God self, your real higher self. When you don't give a fuck about what they think about you. So you get, in between 2 to 4 hours of sunlight. All right. You put all the electromagnetic foods in your body to inactivate your orgone electromagnetic energy, which is your chi energy. Okay? You will be able to tap into the dark matter of the universe as the sun opens your pineal gland. All right. Put this hydrogen rich water into your body, which will mend the hydrogen bonds in your DNA. And the real key to achieving, you know what I'm saying, immortality is if we are able to convert the hemoglobin in our blood to a carbon base, platinum base, or a monatomic gold base. All right. The easiest way would be to change this over to a carbon base. I did the research. That's the easiest way, is to change that over the iron to carbon. Okay. So I gave you the steps, broke it down step by step. Okay. This is eventually going to have to happen. You know what I'm saying? In our lifetime or our children's lifetime, the moon is going to have to be taken out of here. I believe this is going to happen when the second son makes its full return. The Death Star in Star Wars was the moon that orbits the Earth. All right. And right here, you know what I'm saying? You can see the GIF. You can see the GIF of the green melanated Moor, okay, destroying the moon. And what did the moon do? What did the moon do in Dragon Ball Z? The moon turned the Saiyans, okay, into apes, into were-apes, okay, which are monkeys. You see, an ape with a tail is called a monkey. You see, but they really have the moon keys. You see, because they're able to tap into that low vibrational energy of the moon. You see, the beings with the moon keys. The moon turned the Saiyans into moon keys. Real deep information. All right. So we need to be doing all of those steps that I listed to tap into this dark matter energy. When we do, follow those steps and tap into this dark matter energy, we will be invincible. Physically, mentally, and spiritually. I appreciate everyone who supports RFG and Atlantean movement. Please like, share, and subscribe. It's The Chosen One, man. I'm out.